The team of scientists sweeping the depths of Loch Ness said tonight they'd made sonar contact with a large unidentified...
For nearly a century, it lived in the space between belief and ridicule. A shadow beneath dark water, a silhouette in the mist, a legend that refused to die, mocked by skeptics, revered by believers, commercialized, caricatured, and continuously debunked. And yet, it endured. But in the spring of 2025, something happened at Loch Ness that no one was prepared for. This time, it wasn't a grainy photograph. It wasn't a tourist's shaky video. It wasn't a fisherman's campfire story. It was cold data. It was synchronized instrumentation. It was machine precision. And for nearly 3 uninterrupted minutes, the instruments told a story that left seasoned scientists in stunned silence. Because what they detected did not drift like debris. It did not flicker like sonar interference. It moved, it reacted, and in a way that defies easy explanation, it appeared aware. What unfolded in those early morning hours may prove to be one of the most significant biological discoveries of the 21st century, or it may become the most sophisticated mystery modern science has ever encountered. Either way, the world will not look at Loch Ness the same again. This is not just another retelling of a legend. This is the moment the myth blinked back. The expedition that changed everything. It began quietly. Project Deep Scan 2, informally dubbed Deep Scan 2, was conceived as a follow-up to the famed 1987 Operation Deep Scan. That earlier mission had deployed 24 sonar-equipped vessels across the loch, marking the first major scientific incursion into Nessie territory. While intriguing sonar contacts were recorded, nothing definitive emerged. Nearly 4 decades later, technology had advanced beyond anything the 1987 team could have imagined. In early spring 2025, a multidisciplinary team gathered along the shores of Loch Ness. Marine biologists, geneticists, acoustic engineers, AI systems analysts, environmental scientists. Their stated objective was conservative and academically grounded. Conduct a comprehensive ecological survey of the loch using modern tools. No monster hunting, no sensational agenda, just data. But they arrived equipped with tools that could see, hear, and analyze the loch in unprecedented detail. AI-integrated multi-beam sonar arrays capable of filtering noise in real time, autonomous submersible drones with ultra-low-light cameras, high-resolution thermal imaging systems, environmental DNA, eDNA, sampling kits, machine learning software trained to distinguish biological signatures from geological or mechanical anomalies. Loch Ness itself is a formidable environment, 23 miles long, nearly 800 feet deep in places. Its waters are dark, peat-stained, and layered with complex thermal gradients. Visibility is notoriously poor. If something large lived there, it would have every advantage. On the 4th day of the expedition, at precisely 6:42 a.m., the Northern Trench Sonar Station registered something extraordinary. A solid mass, approximately 30 feet in length, moving, not drifting, not tumbling, not breaking apart, gliding. The sonar return was clean and cohesive, unlike schools of fish, which fragment across scans, or logs, which rotate irregularly. This object maintained consistent density and shape across multiple sensor arrays, and it altered course, purposefully. 3 minutes that shook the scientific community. For 2 minutes and 58 seconds, the object remained within tracking range. That may not sound long, but in deep water sonar monitoring, 3 continuous minutes of stable contact is significant. The object moved at a steady pace just above the silted bottom. It exhibited smooth, serpentine motion, not mechanical propulsion, not erratic fish behavior, controlled movement. When the sonar operator alerted the team, submersible drones were deployed immediately. The loch's low-light conditions made visual confirmation difficult, but one drone captured something that continues to be analyzed frame by frame. Elongated, curved, rhythmic. At one moment, brief but unmistakable, a lateral appendage shifted, resembling a flipper or fin adjusting position. Simultaneously, the thermal imaging unit detected something else, a stable heat signature, The waters of Loch Ness are cold, often hovering just above 5 degrees Celsius in the depths. Yet the object emitted a slightly warmer profile than its surroundings. Cold-blooded reptiles typically mirror surrounding water temperatures. This signature suggested something else, an organism capable of regulating its internal heat, at least partially. The sonar, the visual anomaly, and the thermal data aligned in both time and position. 3 independent systems, 1 moving target. The room fell quiet, remote, deep, and difficult to explore. It allowed imagination and perhaps observation to flourish. From folklore to global obsession, the 1930s marked a cultural turning point. Infrastructure projects, including work on the Caledonian Canal, remote, deep, and difficult to explore. It allowed imagination and perhaps observation to flourish. From folklore to global obsession, the 1930s marked a cultural turning point. Infrastructure projects, including work on the Caledonian Canal and the Fort Augustus hydroelectric dam, altered local water flow. Around the same time, sightings increased. Newspapers began publishing reports of disturbances in the loch. Then, in 1934, the image that would define the legend emerged, the surgeon's photograph. A long-necked silhouette rising from the water. The photograph, later revealed to be a hoax involving a model submarine, permanently embedded Nessie into global consciousness. Debunking did little to erase its impact. Loch Ness became a pilgrimage site. Tourism flourished. The village of Drumnadrachit transformed almost overnight. Boats were chartered, souvenirs sold worldwide. Nessie became one of the first viral myths of the modern era. Belief became secondary. The mystery itself was enough. Eyewitnesses who refused to disappear. Over decades, sightings continued, not just from tourists, but from scientists, police officers, military personnel, boat captains. Descriptions remained eerily similar. A dark, undulating body, humped shapes across the waterline, a long neck rising briefly, smooth, rapid gliding motion. Many reports occurred at dawn or dusk, when light is muted and water surfaces are glass-like. Skeptics proposed wave interference, boat wakes, floating logs, optical illusions. And in many cases, those explanations likely applied. But not all sightings were so easily dismissed. The consistency across time and observers is what kept the mystery alive. Science joins the hunt. In 1987, but on that quiet spring morning in 2025, when sonar held steady, when drones captured shadow, when thermal signatures pulsed, and when DNA returned unrecognized, the myth did something unexpected. It met us halfway. Whether this turns out to be a new species, an ecological anomaly, or something science has yet to name, one truth is undeniable. Loch Ness is no longer just a legend. It is a living question. And somewhere beneath those dark ancient waters, something moved. The world is watching again. And this time, we have the tools to see. Stay with us. Because the next discovery may not be beneath a Scottish loch. It may be beneath your own horizon, in the Fort Augustus hydroelectric dam, altered local water flow. Around the same time, sightings increased. Newspapers began publishing reports of disturbances in the loch. Then, in 1934, the image that would define the legend emerged, the surgeon's photograph. A long-necked silhouette rising from the water. The photograph, later revealed to be a hoax involving a model submarine, permanently embedded Nessie into global consciousness. Debunking did little to erase its impact. Loch Ness became a pilgrimage site. Tourism flourished. The village of Drumnadrachit transformed almost overnight. Boats were chartered, souvenirs sold worldwide. Nessie became one of the first viral myths of the modern era. Belief became secondary. The mystery itself was enough. Eyewitnesses who refused to disappear. Over decades, sightings continued, not just from tourists, but from scientists, police officers, military personnel, boat captains. Descriptions remained eerily similar. A dark, undulating body, humped shapes across the waterline, a long neck rising briefly, smooth, rapid gliding motion. Many reports occurred at dawn or dusk, when light is muted and water surfaces are glass-like. Skeptics proposed wave interference, boat wakes, floating logs, optical illusions. And in many cases, those explanations likely applied. But not all sightings were so easily dismissed. The consistency across time and observers is what kept the mystery alive. Science joins the hunt.
It means the mathematics describing quantum evolution does not require wave function collapse to explain outcomes. Another interpretation avoids parallel realities entirely. It proposes that quantum mechanics reflects deeper informational structure within a single universe. Reality may possess computational layers not fully described by classical space-time intuition. Both interpretations are mathematically consistent. Neither changes the engineering achievement, but both remind us that our metaphors for understanding quantum computation may be psychologically outdated. Grok 3 did not choose between them. It pointed out something simpler. Regardless of interpretation, a boundary of classical explanatory comfort had been crossed. Why this actually matters. It's tempting to drift into philosophical speculation, but the implications are concrete. If quantum processes reliably scale, drug discovery could simulate molecular interactions with near-exact fidelity. Climate modeling could incorporate chaotic feedback systems more completely. Materials science could design superconductors atom by atom. Cryptography based on integer factorization could become obsolete. Modern encryption assumes certain mathematical problems are effectively unsolvable at scale. Quantum algorithms challenge that assumption, but perhaps the most profound shift is subtler. As AI systems integrate with quantum processors, we may begin generating solutions that are mathematically verifiable but not intuitively understandable. Answers without narratives, results without mental pictures. For centuries, scientific progress meant deeper understanding. We explained more, we visualized more. Now we may enter an era where we can calculate more than we can comfortably conceptualize. That is not mystical, it is a shift in cognitive scale. The real turning point. The most important outcome of Willow's performance wasn't the speed, it wasn't the benchmark, it wasn't even the scaling improvement. It was this: the machine did not break the rules. It revealed where our simplified stories about the rules stopped being useful. There is a difference. Physics remains intact, but our intuition, shaped by macroscopic experience, struggles at quantum scale. That tension feels dramatic. It is not supernatural, it is the cost of expanding capability. And now the responsibility shifts back to us, because building systems that operate beyond intuitive comprehension forces new ethical and practical questions. How do we verify systems too complex to simulate classically? How do we audit decisions emerging from quantum-enhanced AI? How do we ensure that power does not outpace governance? These are not science fiction problems, they are engineering policy problems, and they are arriving faster than expected. A final reflection. For most of human history, reality appeared singular and stable, the stage on which physics unfolded. Now, through quantum engineering, we are manipulating that stage at its most fundamental level, not rewriting the script, but exploring the edges of it. Grok 3's final assessment was remarkably restrained. It did not declare a revolution, it did not predict catastrophe, it identified a boundary. Here is where classical simplifications fail. Here is where deeper theory takes over. Here is the gap. What comes next is not about parallel universes or hidden layers. It is about maturity. Will we move carefully? Will we build interpretability alongside capability? Will we treat scale with humility, or will we accelerate simply because we can? The Willow processor did not reveal that reality is broken. It revealed that our understanding of it is still unfolding. And perhaps that is the most powerful part of this story. Because every time humanity has reached a boundary, from heliocentrism to relativity to quantum mechanics, the discomfort preceded a deeper clarity. This may be another such moment. Not mystical, not supernatural, but transformative. The question is not whether the machine crossed a line. The question is whether we are prepared to follow responsibly. Because when the tools we build begin operating at scales our intuition cannot track, the next step is not awe, it is wisdom. What do you think? Are we entering a new computational era, or simply discovering how vast our universe truly is? Let me know your perspective, and if you found this exploration valuable, consider subscribing for more deep dives into the technologies reshaping our future. The frontier is no longer theoretical, it's operational, and we're just getting started.